Take 27. All right, you guys, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a studio tour. Yes, you heard me correctly. I am making good on my promise to show you where I work. This has been one of my most requested videos ever on this channel, so hopefully it will reach your expectations. Let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so this is a look at my studio from the outside in. This is what I look at when I'm walking into it. I thought you guys would want to see this view. Those are just two built-in bookcases on either side of the door. I'm standing in my living room right now, so it's just kind of off of my living room. So I'm gonna walk in and there is a bit of a step, and I apologize, I'm gonna do my best not to have shaky cam as I'm doing this video. I am just gonna be using my iPhone for this. So here is the other side of the built-in bookcase. I have a built-in shelf right here. And then, and don't worry, I'm gonna show you everything that I have and all my supplies and all these nooks and crannies once I've just shown you how you know, my studio is laid out. Then I've got one of these IKEA cabinets. This is an older version. I bought this years and years ago, but it's able to hold so much stuff and I absolutely love it. Then this is my desk. My husband actually had this made for me. I think this is one of my most favorite and surprising gifts ever. I really loved it. I loved that I was able to stand at it and that I could have a friend over and they could be on the other side. It was just everything I wanted. He patterned it after the Pottery Barn, a desk that was like this that they had come out with at the time. So I was really, really excited to be able to have that, and I've been using it ever since. I think it's been since 2006. Another IKEA bookshelf, and then some more shelving. I love that IKEA has so many options for us. And you can see this is my desk where I'm doing all of my computer stuff, so all of my photo editing and video editing and all that stuff. So I do have two monitors because I've got so much stuff going on at once. I wish I had a third. And then I have my computer here. I do have a PC. I also use a Mac laptop, but for most of it I'm editing on PC. And then I just have another bookcase, built-in bookcase as well. So I'm going to start over here. And again, like I said, I'm trying not to make anyone dizzy as I'm moving through this. All right, so in this bookcase, I'm just going to come up here to the top. And in here, you can see that I've got some packs of 12 by 12 pattern paper. I've also got some old photographs and some ribbons in those bins. I probably should go through those ribbons. And then in some of these magazine folders right here, I've got like some Avery labels and transparencies and things like that that I would be using for printing. You can see that I've like shoved up some glitter. I think that's from Martha Stewart. Got some watercolor paper up there as well. So just a little bits and pieces there. On the next shelf down, I have got these shelves. I'm just gonna pull one down. You've seen these in some of my videos probably, but this one in particular, so this has the 3 sections, and don't worry, I will link everything that I think I can link that's available in the description box below. This is what I end up doing is I put my current Allie Edwards kits and also my Studio Calico kits in here so that I can just unbox the kit and put it in here, and then I can grab it and look through it when I need it, or when I'm working on a spread. So I've got the other one that I have and that I know you guys have seen in my videos, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna pull this out. This is this has all of my stickers in here, and these are like kits that have just been dissected, right? So I've got all my stickers there. And then this is more like, there's some chipboards in here, but they're also like thicker type embellishments as well. So some of these that came with one of Allie Edwards are like puffy stickers, some more puffy stickers from Freckled Fawn. So just that sort of thing is in here. And then, you know, when I want something, I know where to look for them. So I've got the same thing over there as well. All right, so the next one down, so these I got from the Container Store, and I had to buy them one at a time because they were expensive, and I was using, well, they're expensive for what it is, and I was using a coupon, so I did it one at a time. So I ended up getting some other shelves later, and you'll see that coming up. But in here, I have got all of my die cuts. So you can see that I've got some. These are from Essentials by Ellen. But I have just a whole bunch of different, I guess, oh no, I'm sorry. These are stamps, not die cuts. These are stamps. These are stamps that are more for like cards. So like I said, stuff that's coming from Ellen Hudson, stuff that's coming from, you can see I got Heidi Swap back there, and Simon Says stamps. So that's where I keep all of those. Because I do make cards on occasion. Then in here, this is where I'm keeping all of my die cuts. So I don't have a ton, but I have a fair amount. So you can see that I have them organized in these Avery L. All right, so this is how I am organizing my die cuts. I've got them in this Avery L tab, and I bought these really thin magnetic sheets. You can see they're white on the back side. You could probably get them at Michael's. And then I'm just adding, this is especially good for like alphabet sets. I'm just adding them straight on, and they stay great. I do end up putting them in the Avery tabs just because the Avery L folders, just because then it keeps them, you know, any of them from getting lost just in case they happen to fall off. So that's how I'm keeping all of my die cuts there. And then over here, I think this was how I was going through and putting my current kits. And then I decided to go ahead and use this for both of them because it was just less space. Over here, you can see this is where I have a lot of my embossing folders and my stencils. So this is also for card making, but you can use them to make like Project Life cards. I have plans to use this when I'm working on my one little word, especially for July, because that's one of the creative prompts that's coming up. So that is where I store that there. And then the next one down, you can see that I have all these containers here, these little bins that have some wood veneers, different sizes. I think there's hearts in there. You know, you can see that I've got the cameras. So those sorts of things. Then I've got some old brads and grommets. I actually have a lot more somewhere else, and I can show you that as well, some of my other supplies. But this is where I'm keeping some of these. I just open up the package and then I throw them in. And with all these supplies, I'm trying really hard to remember that I have them and look for some things before I start my spread so that I'm actually using these supplies. So I don't know, that's just something that I'm trying to do. Then you can see back there, I've got some ink and some glue, some Mod Podge, and then I have some wipes to wipe off my stamps. Then I have a big bin of buttons. I used to have them separated out, but I didn't use them near enough, so I just thought putting them in a big bin would be cute, and then I could snag them whenever I wanted to use them. The next shelf down, I've got, I can't remember where this is from. I think it might have been We Are Memory Keeper, Making Memories. I think it was Making Memories. Gosh, that was so long ago. I use this for, you can see, I think I've got like some Avery tabs in here. Those are the 1-inch. And then I've just got like my rotary cutter. I've got a few tools and some punches and things like that. So got some paint brushes back there as well. So this is not like my go-to. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's got some of those supplies in there. And then this basket actually just has some ephemera from 2014. I'm still working on that Project Life album. And then this is where I store all my white paper, my 3x4 white. So this is like 110 pound Nina Solar White. This is 80, so I kind of have them separated there. And then I do have some basil white, and then just some other colors. I got some black and that craft color and some ivory. So these are just kind of like some of my go-tos for when I'm printing. And then this is actually a lot of photo paper right here. And then you can see I have my Epson PM400 printer right there. And then right below it, I have my Artisan printer that's printing. The Epson, the PM400 is printing, it prints up to a 5x7. And then this one can print, I guess, up to a 13 inch. So I have some 19 by 13 inch paper. So that's awesome. And then I just have a picture right here that I want to hang. This is a card that, or something my husband drew for us. So I wanted to hang that up. All right, so let's move on to this cabinet. This is kind of a big cabinet, but let's start from the top and we'll just do the top shelf. Actually, let me give you the very top. So this is actually right here is my Project Life. Oh, sorry about my finger. My Project Life 2014 album that I'm still working through. So I've got that up there to remind me that I have my ink machine and then the typewriter. So I can just pull those things down when I would like to use them. This is some old albums. So this album was a scrapbook album that was all about me. I think there's only a handful of pages. It's actually also got some pages from Kathy Zilski's design. Gosh, what's her class called? The design class that she did back in 2008. She's offering that right now as well. And then the album next to it, that's got my one little word stuff in it there, and then just some other albums. This is my old Get to Work book from last year that's still just sitting there. And then this shelf is intended for, I need to buy a few more 12 by 12 albums because I am running out. And then I just recently acquired these because this, you can see, is almost all the way full. So I need to begin to get more space and section them out. So we'll get to those in a minute, but that's why I have those there. Then this has got some of my old books. This is actually way weeded down. I used to have a ton of books and magazines, but I got rid of them all. I ripped out pages that I wanted to save. This is just a print. I don't have this is one of my favorite guys. I do not have a frame yet for that, but I've just been putting it in front of there. So those are some of my favorite. You can see some of Ali Edwards' really old ones and also Kathy Zilski. You got some Real Simple, if you remember that magazine. And then this is my 6x8 albums. These are, trying to think of, these are mostly my week in the life. And then I think this 2005 one is from December Daily, if I remember correctly. So I just love seeing them all together. So when I'm picking the album that I want to use for the year, I think about how it's going to look on the shelf with all of them together. So I was really happy about that. Then below here, I've got this came from IKEA as well. And in there you can see that I have all of my, these are all of my Ali Edwards kits. Some of them have been pulled out and sectioned out and put in places, but some of them have not. And so I need to go through some of them. Like this one, this is the Believe kit, this is the Go kit. And I bought this in that recent sale that she had a month or so ago, and I just haven't gone through it yet. But I need to, because I need to tell stories about that. And then next to it, I've got, this is the same, these are from IKEA as well. It's that dragon containers. This is where I'm keeping my go-to Project Life. So this is my 4x6s. And you can see that I have them sectioned off by Studio Calico, Ali Edwards, and then the Project Life, which is the Becky Higgins brand, Midnight Edition and Everyday Edition. Those are some of the editions that I have. And then right here, I've got my Studio Calico and then my Ali Edwards cards. And then in the back, I've got just a bunch of just white 3x4 cards. And then I just, to section them off, you can see that I just used a piece of, this is actually one of the December Daily boxes that I didn't use. So I just got that in there. And I just what I end up doing is I use all the cards that I possibly can for that kit. And then the ones I don't, I just put in the front. So I do have some of them organized, not in here and somewhere else I'll show you, but I do have some of them organized by color, but not these. I will probably go through them soonish, because maybe about every 6 months I do it and try and put them more, I try and organize them just a little bit more. And then in the back here, you can see that I've got a container that's got all my chipboards. These include Ali Edwards and also Studio Calico. And then another one, this has just these are all letter stickers, so that came in the kit. So that's how I'm organizing those. And those are little boxes that are just a little bit smaller than these boxes that are a little bit bigger. All right, and then the next one, this is like my go-to supplies, and you can see that I have them in this cubby because I prefer to have a clean desk. Now when I work, I get really messy, but I like to be able to have a clean desk and not to have anything on it. That might change in the future, but so far that's how I've really enjoyed doing it. So in here I've got, you can see that I'm still using this stamp runner. I actually did receive this in the mail when I bought something from Tombow. It's a permanent adhesive, and I'm gonna try this out and see how I feel about it. So this just came, which was really nice of them. Then, you know, I have like some small scissors, I have my tweezers and some more glue and just some more tools. I've got some more pens, some Sharpies, my water pens, and then my Mega Date stamp, and then the Mega Time stamp, which I love. So both of those are on hand. And then just in here, I've got some more scissors. I've got my hole punches, my corner rounders, and then the stapler, and then my T-square ruler. And then this I always have out as well because I use this all the time. So this is my favorite. It's the Versamark Black. And then I've got the time stamp here as well. Or yeah, the roller time stamp there. All right, so this is how I organize all of my stamps. So I'm using these same containers as well. Here is everything from Ali Edwards. So I have story kits, but I also have other things like her December Daily, her One Little Word, things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out only the story stamps, and everything else I'll probably put up here in one of these containers so that I have a little bit more space. So you can see, like, I only have enough room for maybe another 1 or 2 months. And then these are all stamp sets. The way I organize them, these are the ones that I would most likely use for Project Life. And then these ones over there that I already showed you in the yellow containers, those are more for card making. So in here, you can see that I have some stamps. These ones that are coming in my Studio Calico kits. And this one right here specifically was from Kelly Perky. And then you can see that I have some planner stamps as well in there. And then I've got... These are also from Studio Calico kits. Studio Calico kits in there. Then just some more, more Studio Calico. So in here also, and I'm not seeing it, there's a Kelly Perky there. So I've got one of that. I've got a couple Kathy Zielski in here as well. I think that might be Kathy's right there. So I've got stuff, and then in the back I've got some of the big some big letters, and then some of the Studio Calico kit stamps as well. Some of the ones that I have received. So I have those all stored in there, and I do need to go through and kind of organize those a little bit more. All right, so I just wanted to be more specific and show you how I'm storing my stamps. So I got this idea from Jennifer McGuire because she is the organizational guru, in my opinion. If you ever have questions about what to organize or how to organize it, I would definitely go look at her YouTube channel. She has some awesome ideas. But these are Avery L envelopes, and I've really enjoyed using these. And as you saw in the video, I'm just putting them in those containers so they can easily find the stamps that I'm looking for. So specifically, one of the other ways that I was storing these is the 6x8 page protectors that have the 2 4x6s. I would stick this in the pocket, and so I would have 2 stamp sets in the pockets, and then I'd have a full album full of them. But I just found that I was not able to organize as much as I can using the Avery envelopes, the Avery L envelopes. Now you don't have to use the envelopes. You could actually just stick the stamps in like this. They're a little bit smaller. You wouldn't need to have as big of a container, but I like having this because over time I have found the more you use the stamps, they kind of lose their sticky, And so I find it to be really nice to be able to have a way to just throw them in this container, so I know that I'm not going to lose anything. So that is how I'm organizing my stamps. All right, so then next up here, I've got another one of these containers. I think Plugus or something like that. I can't, you guys, honestly, I don't know how to say anything from IKEA, but in here I've just got some, gosh, these are envelopes from the Studio Calico. I've got my ink. This was totally inspired by Jennifer McGuire, of course, the inks that I have, and I'll show you where I keep all of my inks. And then I just have some wipes in there, and that's about it in there. Below here, I've got some, this is the same containers. I think these are the same brand containers. And in here, I've got these are all the scraps that I have. So you can see I have a bunch of white from cutting some stuff up. Then I just have some colors. There's probably some patterns in there. So if I know I need something little, like I can use these when I go ahead and I work on doing those like Instagram cards that I put in my Project Life. I can just go ahead and use those cards. So those are all in there for my use. Here, and I'm not going to open it up, but I've got just a ton of adhesives that I have. It's like my adhesive supply store. So I have a ton that I've bought over the years. So if I need anything, I just go and I look through that stash. And then here I've got some 12 by 12 albums. These all came from We Are Memory Keepers. This one, they're all for the 12 by 12 protectors. This one has, I'm sorry if this is not focused, you guys. This one has the random sizes. This one has, these are like 12 by 12, like large, the 12 by 12 size random. This is the smaller, so it's probably got some 8 by 10s, some 8.5 by 11s, 5 by 7, stuff like that. And then this one is only for Design A. So that's how I'm organizing those. And I basically just did it that way because I had those supplies on hand. This is my 6 by 8 album from Becky Higgins that's got my 6 by 8 page protectors stored in there. And then I just have my paper that I've been collecting literally for years and years, and I literally like never grab any of this paper anymore because I have all of these cards and supplies. So I want to be better about that, but my kids are really great about, they'll use this pattern paper, so it was definitely getting use. And then in here I've got some 12 by 12 black and then some 12 by 12 white, and you can see I also have some Project Life 12 by 12 envelopes here. And then these are some pattern papers, and these, some of them are kind of newish at the beginning only, and I haven't bought paper in forever. But these are really, really old pieces of paper that I have sitting here. I was thinking about putting them up. I have some others, some other place, but I've just left them here, and hopefully I will look through them and play with them a little bit more. And then I just have some other stuff filed in here as well, just in these. I think I have some 9 by 12 page protectors in there as well. And then in this cabinet, or excuse me, in this container, this is where I've got some thickers, some, not letter thickers, because I have those other places, but you can see I've got some thickers in here. And then just some other stickers. And I'm going to pull this out so you guys can see. It is really, you guys, this is really old stuff. You guys remember KI Memories? I think that might be like right there, like a KI Memories. Some old stuff. Some of this I really do need to go through. Like this is not really my style. This is not something I would probably use. Not that I think it's ugly or anything. It just is, you know, I'm just more simple. So I need to go through this and decide, like, this is not me, I won't use this, and just do a big giveaway. So I definitely need to do that here. And I have a ton of rub-ons as well, so I need to do that with the rub-on. So anyway, that's where I'm keeping some of those stickers and then some of these thickers. And then underneath here, and I'm not going to open this up either, it's just got a whole bunch of ribbon that's already been cut, so it's not on the spool, so just a whole bunch of ribbon. So if I need some ribbon, I can go ahead and check in there. Then I have a Misty tool right here on the side just because it fit nicely right in there. All right, you guys, are you still with me? All right, so down here, now all of these shelves, they're not all the way full. I'm still trying to figure out how I want everything organized. So far, it's been working for me, but in this container, or this drawer, I have got some old stamps. These stamps came from, where did these stamps come from? Yeah, PSX. I think I got these from Impress, but I loved these stamps. These are actually bullet containers here, believe it or not. And these stamps fit in perfectly, or maybe I should say ammunition. And then I've got these stamps as well. And I can't remember if these were Hero Arts or not, but it just is the circle. Really loved those at the time. I used those a lot back in the day when I was scrapbooking. Then I believe these are Amy Tan's stamps. Here, some wood stamps. And then just another alphabet stamp. And then these stamps are a bunch of stamps that I collected over time. So some of these are, like, I think this one came from Stampin' Up! Maybe, or close to my heart. I think these ones are Stampin' Up! That came in a set that I really liked because I just like that font and the one little word there. And then it's got this, I'm trying to see if it will focus, the circle there. So anyways, those are some of the stamps that I have in there. Oh, and then I have a couple, like, congratulations, and that one came from Impress as well. And then below it, I have got some of my sewing. Well, I've got some more stamps. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So here's some more stamps from Impress. You can see that it's actually got the Impress on there. This circle stamp, these were really popular at the time that I bought them. Loved them. And then also these letter stamps as well. Love these also from Impress. Then just back here, I've got some really old inks. I think these were from Basil. Whoops, sorry. Have not used these in forever. You guys, I'm really sorry if we're going through this and nothing is focused. And then I've got just some more of my sewing stuff in there. I've got some threads and just some stuff, some needles and things that I might need. And then I also have a stamp set here. This one is one that Allie likes as well, the uppercase alpha. So I've got those in there. All right, so the next one, this is where I'm organizing my, all of my other Project Life cards. And you can see that a lot of these are rounded, so they're a little bit older. And I did go through all of my cards and did a big purge a little while ago. But these are organized by color. You can kind of see how it's organized by color. And I really like all of these, but just have not used them yet. So it's just one of those things. I've kind of told myself I probably need to stop getting kits and just use my supplies. But there is a little bit of that fear of missing out. So I don't know. Also, just being in the industry, just wanting to feel like I am, you know, relevant and using what's happening right now. And then over here, so these are my Studio Calico ones. Over here I've got these are all from, like, these are the Midnight Edition, and I think then these are some of the more journaling cards, and then this is more of the filler cards. I also do have in here, I don't know why it doesn't say, but some of these are from the Everyday Edition as well. And then it says my own cards, but some of these are cards that I've just, like, played with and made. You know, like this one is something that I cut up that was just kind of a leftover of something. So just little things like that. And up here, back up here, I don't have any Allie Edwards down in this drawer because most of hers are all up there because I don't have as many from Allie Edwards. Okay, back here. So in the back here, you can see that I just have a container, and you've probably seen this if you've seen any of my videos, and I will pull this out if I'm looking for anything specific. I've just got some very random wood veneers. You can see that this is just a rubber word today. They're coming from kits. I'm not really sure where to put them, so I'm just throwing them in here. Totally inspired by Allie Edwards to do that as well. And then I think this was a wood veneer alpha there that's just sitting there because I don't want it to get lost in the mix. All right, so below that, I just have these containers and I don't have anything in them yet. So I have a couple drawers like that. So I'm just gonna close that one up. All right, so let's move on. We'll move to the bottom here. So there's nothing in that one either. And just so you know, if you have this IKEA cabinet or these drawers, This is a 6 by 8 by 3, I think. No, 10. 6 by 10 by 3, and it fits. Awesome. 2 of them fit. It's pretty snug in here. I love it. All right, so the top here, you can see that I have my cutter, which I absolutely love. Probably just need to do a video in and of itself because I love that cutter so much. Then this top drawer here has got my my favorite Studio Calico inks, and I have another place where I have the other ones. And then I've got my white and my blacks and my Versamark. So these are like most of my go-tos that I'm always reaching for. Oh, and this also has my Ali Edwards. And I need to label these so that I know what the colors are. But you can kind of see through because it's plastic there, or see-through. And then the next drawer down, this is where I've got all of my stamp supplies, where you can see my Fiskars stamp press. I've got this chamois that I really haven't used. I need to pull that out and use it. This is my old, close to my heart stamp cleaner there. And then these are where I keep my blocks. So you can see I've got all of my blocks here that I use. So just some of my supplies there. And then to this drawer, this is where I keep all my paints, and I should maybe just move those over. And then these are my supplies here. What are these? Those screen prints. So these, you can see these came from Ali Edwards. I really want to use those. I just did a video where I used some of these screen prints. So I was pretty excited about that, and I would love to use those. And then this is where I'm just keeping my paints. Most of them are Studio Calico, but I also have some Ali Edwards. And then this is a letterpress ink, which I've decided it's just such a pain to use. It's so hard to clean. And then I have a couple of these from Tim Holtz, I believe. These are like for his distress inks. So you can lay down some ink. Got those there. And then below here, you're gonna see my Tim Holtz Distress inks, and I'm gonna pull it out. This is one of the containers. If I can get it open. So you can see on the bottom, sorry, I was trying to focus. Some of these do have the foam so that I can do, you know, rub on the ink on the paper if I want. So I do have some of those distress inks there. And then in the back, I have these perfect pearls. I have not used this very much. This is more for like really being crafty and for card making and things like that. But Jennifer McGuire has awesome ideas for using those perfect pearls. So I have those in the back. You can see that they're still kind of in the package. All right, so moving on to the very bottom here. So these baskets came from IKEA as well. And you can see in here, so I'm just gonna pull this envelope out. These are some old rub-ons, you guys. So check this out. These came from American Crafts from way back in the day. And these are some old rub-ons. Now, you guys, I loved these. Because especially at the time, not everyone had like a 12 by 12 printer. So it was nice to be able to, you know, have something that looked kind of printed, but that you didn't have printed, right? I love the font. So it came in a little book. And then I just have a bunch of them. You can see that I have like some lace. This one's mini marks. So let's see, this is white. You can see that it's the same font. Well, you can see right there that it's the same font, but it's just lowercase. And a little bit smaller, obviously. So I just have a ton of that stuff. Then you can see that I've got some basic gray rub-ons. I have a bunch. Loved those as well, like those icons. See what I mean about like you need to go through your supplies and see what you have so you can use them, because I think that these could make some really cute Project Life cards. And maybe that's what you do one day, is you just sit down and you make a whole bunch of Project Life cards. These are also basic gray. And then you have them to use when you've got them. Or, you know, when when you're able to work on it. So that's what's in here, just a ton of these rub-ons that I need to use. You can see that I've got an old, I wonder if these would even work, if they're still sticky. So this is Making Memories for Halloween. So it's pretty cute. All right, then I've got, this is where I'm keeping my watercolors. So I've got some, these are from Michael's, and then I won't even, these are the Gonzai watercolors that I love. So when I'm playing with watercolors, those are the ones that I go to. And then in this basket here, this is where I keep my, this is where I keep all the stuff that needs a power cord, because I have this extension here that I'm able to use. I should move this out because this is not supposed to be here. This is a punch board to make envelopes with and boxes. So I've got in here my fuse tool. So I just have that I can plug in. It's not currently plugged in because you can't turn it on and off. When you plug it in, it turns on. And then I have the embossing tool that I use there, that heat gun that I use. So I have that in there because, like I mentioned, that's where my power source is. And then it's just right by my desk, so I can just pull it over and use it. All right, let me move this punch board out of the way. The next one we're going to come to, this is really going to be messy. This is where I keep all of my paint stuff. I used to do a lot of paint stuff. I think probably back in like 2010 is when I started getting into it. And I'm going to be real honest and candid here and say, this is how, when I moved into this house in 2013, this is how I packed this up. And I have not gone through it since. Now, sometimes I'll look for paints or brushes or things that I need, but I have not gone through. You can see that all my paints are still in bags. Some oil sticks there. I haven't gone through any of this stuff, so I really need to. I have not. I've really, since I moved, I've just been hitting the Project Life really hard. So that's where I keep all my paint stuff. And in here you can see that I just have a bag of all kinds of stuff that you can make just collage with. I've got some maps. This is, the bubble wrap is really great for creating texture on your canvases. So just stuff like that. And then in the next basket over, this is where I've got some stuff for the mink other places, but this is where I've got some of the black sheets for the mink. I have my big shot, whatever this is called. I lost the name of it. I apologize, but that's you use for the big shot to do some die cutting. And then I don't know what else is in here. Just some ribbon, some random stuff. Okay, so that could be organized as well. See, I'm not 100% organized. All right, so let's move on to this cabinet here. You can see that I've got on top here, this is my current Project Life album. And I'm actually at the point, hold on. I'm actually at the point where I'm at right now where I need a new album. So this one's pretty full, and you can see here, sorry if this is blurry, you guys. I'm trying really hard. You can see that this is my storybook that I need to put in the back. So, well, the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I need to order a new one, and I use the gray Project Life albums. All right, beneath it, then I've got my sewing machine. This is from like 1983. I love it. It works awesome. It does the job perfectly. Then I've got my Canon. This Canon I've had longer, I think, than any printer. You can see that it's well loved because the tape is what's keeping it all together. I will link, it's an old version of this MG6320. I know they have newer versions, but I loved that it was white. Down here, I've got some We Are Memory Keepers albums. So these albums were, what I'm doing with these albums is I have a ton of 4x6 photos that I've printed since oh my gosh, you know, since the 90s. So I'm going through and I've got a whole bunch of 12 by 12 page protectors, and I'm just throwing the pictures in the sleeves. I'm not like this. Let me pull one out. I'm not worrying about, you know, if some are going sideways or not. I'm not worried about getting stories told right now. I'm just getting them out of my boxes in my storage and into these albums so we can start to enjoy them, and then I can go through them and tell stories if I want to when I have time. All right, so let's move on to this desk. Now I've got in here, this is when I'm talking about like my big cutter. This is the big cutter that I use. It's a rotillary, so you can see that it cuts this way. It's self sharpening, so I never have to sharpen it, and it's awesome. I love this for cutting. You know, when I'm making Project Life cards, I can just cut them myself, and I can do it really, really quickly. Or if I'm cutting anything big, when I do it off camera, this is where I'm doing it. And underneath here in these drawers, you can see that they're not 100% full either. I'm still in that process of just figuring where I want everything to go. So I have my washi tape now. I might actually move this washi tape to over on the other side, on the other cabinet that I was just showing you on some of that empty space, but we'll see there. So I have my washi tape. And then in here, I've got some of my inks. So I've got the rest of the Studio Calico inks that I have. I have a few of the big distress inks that I have, like the walnut ink I bought. Well, this isn't the walnut ink, but the walnut ink back there, I bought that like ages ago. It was one of the first things I bought from Tim Holtz. And then I have some of these. These are Avery L. Oops, losing that. Pigment inks there. So I have a few of those. You can see the colors that I have. And then these are the Memento Luxe. I have some of my favorite black inks. And then these are some Simon Says stamp inks. Now, obviously, here, let me show you how far back it goes. I'm not doing the best job. It's kind of hard to see because of the light. I'm not doing the best job of knowing what colors is which, so I need to work on that organization there. And then here I just have a few of the smaller inks that I have there as well that I've received either from Studio Calico or these ones are from Paper Tray Ink. All right, then the next one down. This is where I've got a lot of my cards and old Project Life. So these are some old Project Life that I have right here from all of Becky Higgins. These are mostly just from Becky Higgins kits. Oh, I think this is where actually I have the everyday kit. So you can see that they're so old. I really need to probably go through, weed them out, and just do a big giveaway. And then this is where I've got a lot of cards and envelopes. So I also have a lot of photos that I make cards with as well. And then I just have some cards that friends have made, you know, to give away. Some that I made, like this one right here, I made years ago. So I was in a really big card making stage years ago. And kind of got back into it a little bit, but not tons and tons. And then just some more white cream and craft envelopes there. So I'm hoping to fill this up a little bit more because it used to be more full, and then I've been using a lot of them this year. So that's what's in there. And then in here, I've also got some old stuff. So you can see in this bin, I've got some old, I mean, look at these Making Memories metal. Like, what in the world? These are old, and they're like all love sentiments. So I think I like need to pull these out and use them on one of my spreads. Like, I think this might have some Valentine's, you know, themed stuff in there. Then Me and My Big Ideas. Like, these are embroidered, like, awesome. Look at this old Elsie stuff, you guys. Like crazy. Do you remember when she came out with this? So I've got some of that. I've got some of her stuff other places as well. You can see that I have some buttons. I have a cabinet downstairs that has a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to organize because they're just little bits and pieces. So I should bring them up and organize them or give them away. Like, something like this. Maybe in a card, I could use it in a card. I was going to say that I definitely don't think I would use that anytime soon in Project Life. So just really need to go through this. Then here I've got some of these little bits and pieces that I've collected over time that I've just put in these little baggies. These are all, you can see that I've labeled them baby, so it's all baby themed stuff. Got some metal stuff in there, then these plastic, acrylic, I don't know what they are, and they're not buttons, but I've got a friend theme here. So these, like, I don't know if I would use these now. So I really just need to do a purge, you guys. I've got some tags here as well. These are just some blank tags that I could use. And then just some old charms. So a lot of these packages I opened up and I put in to these packages. So you can, you know, see that I didn't do all of them, but there you go. I think a lot of these were KI memories, like a lot of these little tags were KI memories. And then I have another one, girl, love. Okay, so you're getting the idea. You don't need to look through all of them, but can you believe these old supplies? I don't know whatever happened to making memories, but yeah, the metal. Remember when metal was so huge? I wish these were all dated. I wish they were all dated so I could see like when that was. All right, so some brads there. So that's kind of what I have in there. And then this is also something very similar that's also old as well. So you can see I've got some of these enamel metal tiles, I guess is what they're called. And then I've got some more colorful tags. I've got some enamel. So these are more modern. These came from Studio Calico that I could use. And I do love the enamel dots. Then I've got some more just labels, more labels, woven labels. These are also some labels that are stickers. These are more, you know, modern. Some old stuff. Got some more labels. And then you can see I've got some Allie Edwards labels. Look, I didn't even know I had these. They're like hidden. I need to pull those out. And these as well, just some word phrase stickers. Need to get these pulled out because I don't even know they're here, you guys. So this is a good idea to go through your stuff. Maybe everyone should do a video so they can see. So then you can see, do you remember when these were really popular? So I have a bunch of those because I love them. You can see coming up. These are all making memories, these ones, and I'm really sorry about the glare here. Word confetti is what they call them. More word confetti, and I loved stacking them. And more Elsie stuff. More word confetti. You know, I had Halloween. This one is birthday. So just a whole bunch of stuff. Then you can see some more Elsie buttons. Those were Christmas. I should pull those out for December daily, although some of those probably wouldn't use. Some of her just enamels. Then I've got KI memories. So you guys, just a whole bunch of this stuff. This was like, for me, when it like the way I feel about chipboard now, this is how I felt about these like enamel pieces. I loved that it added a little bit of texture, but it wasn't too much. Got some more tags there. And yeah, some stuff. There you go. So that is where all that stuff is. And then right here, you can see that I have a label maker there that I use for my labeling. All right, so next drawer down. And here I've got all my embossing powders. So you can see that I really don't have a lot. I have some basic colors where I've got some gold, some silver, some black. This is actually glitter, not embossing powder. This is glitter as well. So I guess it's embossing powder and glitter. You can see this is gold. I should have my Christmas stuff, you know, that I used at Christmas time. So my green and red, I'm not sure. Those aren't in here. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I think this is the red. Yeah, so you can see this is the glitter one that I used at Christmas time. And then back here, so these, I've got some of my Heidi Swap sprays. Right here, this is Seafoam. I haven't used these in a while either. I should. So I have some Mr. Huey's as well. I think this might be a Studio Calico brand, if I remember correctly. coral. Such a pretty color. So I think you have to shake those before you use them. And then the stuff that I use the most from Hero Arts is the embossing powder is white and clear. So I have these in some big containers because I use these the most. The reason why I don't have a lot of colors of the embossing powder is because the clear embossing powder, what happens is you use a colored, let's see, the ink that you use, if I can get this out. All right, so what you would use is the pigment ink, and you'd use whatever color you want. And then because it's pigment ink, it doesn't dry right away. Then you can put this embossing powder on it, the clear, and it will stick to it. And then it obviously, when you put the heat on it, it goes clear, and then you can see the color underneath, and there's a little bit of texture there. So that is the trick that I use. Instead of having just a bunch of embossing colors, I just use clear and just make sure I have the ink colors that I want. So those are the ones I use the most. All right, so we'll move on to here. The bottom here, the bottom two is where I've got all my circle punches. Now these are things that I've acquired forever from back in the day. You can see that they're all the old style. So those are all my circles, and then the next one is all of my squares and rectangles, although you can see I have a flower there, and I have a couple Martha Stewart's in there. So they're not all squares, but I had some room for some other ones as well. And then this next drawer, I've got all of these ribbons. So these are some of my favorite ribbons that I've bought because I use these on gifts all the time. These are the chevrons, and then I have some of this twine, and you saw this probably in December Daily. I've got some other colors there, and then some older ones. Here's one that says thank you, and then you can see that that's a ruler, and then I've got some more back there as well. That's probably too hard to see because it's dark, but more of the same. These are all from May Arts, so those are all the brand, all of them. I don't think any of them there came from anywhere else. The next drawer up these are some of the containers that came with the dragon containers that I got at IKEA. Let me see if I can get this focused. And I didn't know what to do with them, but what I've decided is that all these little bits and pieces that I don't know what to do with, that I'd stack all these together in these shelves and then organize them this way. So in here, I have some flair. I've got just some other little bits and pieces, some of the rubber little bits that come in kits, things like that are going in here. I've got some wood veneers as well. And then in here, I've got a lot of the die cuts that are coming in the kits that like I said about a lot of other things, I feel like I kind of just need to go through this before I start a spread or as I'm working to see what stands out to me that I would like to use. And then back here, I just got some of my Project Life cards that I've cut up, some pattern papers that I would like to use again. Like I said, let's see. This is some of the inks that I need to stamp. Still need to do those. This came from a Studio Calico kit. Still want to use that. Maybe not the 2016, but they've got some other cute things in that. Then this is some smaller white cardstock that I'll go to. And then back there, I've got some little stamps. Obviously, these are things that I'm not using all the time, but these are from some of the Studio Calico inks. Trying to get that focused. Oh, I had it the right side the first time. So there you go. Those are some stamps that are back there. And then this first drawer is going to be some like office supply type stuff. So I've got all of my pens, and back here I've got all of these clips, and then I've got some these notes, some post-it notes that I use, and then I have my long stapler so that I can make some notebooks if I want to. So that's what I have in there. And then on my desk, I've got, this is my Get to Work book that I use. I'm also using a bullet journal at the same time, so I'm trying to figure out how to make all that work. And then you can see that, yeah, just my keyboard and stuff. You guys, I am almost done. And then right here, I've got my computer, and I've got a lot of my computer stuff here. A lot of stuff that I have in these containers are just wires and cords. You can see that I have my Instax camera. I have some DVDs over there, some stuff for my silhouette here. I've got a lot of hard drives here as well. And then on the next shelf, I've got the Cameo, the Silhouette Cameo, which I have not been able to use for months. I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with that. So got to get on that so I can use it. The next shelf up, I've got just some wood stamps that I've pulled out because I want to remember to use them when I'm making cards. And then just a collection of A's, and that 5 that came, I think, from Anthropology. The next drawer up here, you can see that I have some of these markers. What are they called? Copic markers. Like, why couldn't I think of that name? So I don't have a ton, but I have enough for what I use. And then in this container, see a picture of me and my husband, the word choose was one of my all-time favorite one little word. So when Allie came out with the words, because I think I did this back in like 2010 or 9. So when Allie came up with that you could make, you know, when she was doing that last year, when you could make these words, had them made, I had her make that. I bought one of those. Okay, then I've got in here, you can see I've got some more wood veneers, but I've also got all these containers of more embellishments, you guys. I really probably could get away with never buying supplies again. You can see all these grommets. These, you guys, I loved these. Loved them. And I don't know why I collected so many. Part of the problem was why I have so many of these types of embellishments is because Making Memories, they're mostly from Making Memories, and they had like a warehouse sale that was not far from me, like 15 miles from my house. So sometimes I would go there and spend like hours shopping. So I end up with a lot of embellishments. And my advice is you have a lot of pins. Maybe that's not a great idea because then you're not using them up, and then, you know, styles change, you know, just something to think about. This came from American Crafts, I believe. These are like foam shapes. So you can see that this one was all about arrows, and I still use that. This one was fall. You can see the shapes there. I use a lot of those for cards making. I got some flowers. This one is the same thing, but it's numbers. Sorry about the focus. So I have those in that container there. And then up above, you can see that I have some tags in here. And then I have a bunch of fabric in there. I end up using that fabric a lot when I'm doing wrapping. And then in here, in this bag, or basket, I guess it is, I have a bunch of old, like, stuff as well that I have just not gone through since I moved. You can see I have more of those metal words. You guys, no judgments here of all the supplies. Like I said, I have been collecting all these brads and grommets for a decade now. A decade. That is so crazy. And I really have given a lot away. When I moved, I gave so much stuff away. You can see that I have tags here and some little envelopes. Some stars. I really loved those that went over the photos. I don't even know what they're called. Apologize that I'm losing my words a little bit. And then I've got some metal labels. Those might come in handy for some albums. So anyways, just some old stuff and some photo corners. Just some old stuff is in there. I need to go through that, but right now I've just left it. And then up there, this is my colored 8.5 by 11. And then in here, I've got some photographs. Those photographs are from 2007. And these are the types of things that I'm talking about where I want to take those photographs and put them in those black albums that I showed you. Up there, I had a gazillion wood stamps. So back in the day when I was really into card making and I would do like Stamping Up and Close to My Heart, I wasn't like a regular, but I would buy some of those stamps. Then I'd buy at Michael's. I collected a lot of stamps, and so I've just got some bins of some wood stamps. I used to have them all set up in my other studio, but there was not space, and I'm just not using them as much. So and they're all by theme. You can see I've got some holiday, some wedding. I think they might all be mixed up, you know, but I don't know. Up there also I've got some more paper. That black right there, that black album that zips up, I used to use that when I was traveling, you know, when I would go to a friend's house or something and we would scrapbook. So I've got some old scrapbook pages that still need some page protectors in there. So, and then those other, above it, those boxes, those also have some scrapbook pages that need to be finished. So, eek. One last thing before I forget, because I was going to end this video and forget to talk about my desk. So on my desk, I have some shelving as well. So you can see I have some 6x8 albums. Those are Ali Edwards albums. Some of those are Week in the Life. And then you can see I've got a December daily there as well. Then I've got some books, and then I've got some of my journaling over here. I'm trying to point to it. My moleskins and some like traveler's notebooks there. And in these containers, I've got some other projects that I like to work on. So in this basket, I've got some of I like to make journals. So I've got some of my journals in here that I have bound that I need to cover. In here, I've got some more of stuff for book making as well. And then in this container, or this basket, does not have anything in it. So that one is blank. Then in here, I think that used to have some envelopes in here before I moved it. So in here, I've got some jewelry making stuff. I do have a video on my YouTube channel that's showing how I stamp into metal. So I've got some of my jewelry supplies in there. And then in here, I've got some of the big chipboard letters. This one came in the Week in the Life kit, but I also have some big ones here. These are from Ali Edwards, and Studio Calico is where most of these gold ones came from, Studio Calico. I really love being able to use those, especially for projects like December Daily. And then in here I have some of my most used adhesives that are not packed away in the other container. This has just an old, I let my girls use this a lot, but this is what I used to use back in the day. Then I have some score tape and, you know, some foam squares and just things like that in there. So I have those on hand. And then instead of having these containers on the outside of my desk, I actually have them on the inside of my desk, and I apologize because it is dark under here. But what I have is, you can see I've got my big shot right here that I can just grab to. In this container, in this white container, I have a whole bunch of my letter stickers. And these ones I have, they're mostly from American Crafts stickers. I'm just gonna pull this out, you guys, I apologize. And these are all organized by color. So I've got a lot of the white ones and then the colors green. You know, it shows you really what colors you're missing. And then I have a bunch of black ones there. And then up here I have some more containers of, you can see I have buttons in here. And then I think some of this one right here is gonna have, this one has some sequins in there, so you can see the colors that I have of those. And those are good containers because they lock there, so that's really nice. You can see I have a December Daily box. I don't think there's anything in there. And then I've got some twine that my kids make those bracelets with. And in here, shoot, I just messed that up. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Here I've got all these old metal letters. So I have them sectioned off by, you can see I've got all the T's in here, the V's and the U's, the M's. So these are just a whole bunch of letters that I have that I've separated out. I've kind of forgot that I had these, so I definitely need to use these. You can see that that J is out of place right there. They probably all got mixed around at some point. All right, so that's just some like doodad things in there. And then you can see there I've got my sewing machine pedal and things like that. This is a weight that I use when a counterweight for my camera when I am filming. Then I've got some old Project Life. Well, these are Studio Calico. I don't think they used to be called Project Life kits, but they don't do that anymore. They're called Documenter kits now. But there are still a couple of those that I've still yet to use. I want to use them when I'm working on my 2014, so I'll definitely use those. Down below here, I've got some printer inks and some, you can see I've got Epson and Canon, and I definitely use those. You know, I keep them on stash on hand so that I have them when I want to use them. And, you know, I don't have to worry about running out to the store. Down here, I've got some old journals. Like, by old, I mean, like, some are from, like, the 90s. Not from when I was a kid, but some old journals that I use, and then some art journals as well. Let me pull one of these out that I know is an art journal. So this is an art journal that I had. So funny to look through all this stuff. And I can't remember, I think Donna, what was her name? Gosh, I've forgotten it, but totally inspired by her, how she was doing so much art at the time. So these are just some of my art journals that I was messing around with. You can see I never 100% filled it up. And then in here, I've got some more paint supplies. This is some palettes and things like that I use. And then up here is some 6x6 pattern paper. Again, this is another thing that I need to go through. A lot of those pages I probably won't look through. And then that color index, I bought that so long ago, but it's been very useful in looking for colors to use on the computer and in projects. All right, you guys, so that is a look at my studio. Hopefully it was worth the wait. It was actually really good for me to go through all of my baskets and all of my containers and see all of my supplies. I know that I have a big purge coming up because there's just a lot of things that I'm not using anymore, or they're not my style that I could totally get rid of. So I definitely want to do that in the coming months. So maybe I'll have to do a few giveaways or two on my channel. Anyway, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm going to put all the information I can in the description below about the containers that I'm using or shelving, whatever it is. So if you have any questions about that, definitely look at the description. And if you can't find what you're looking for, of course, you can ask me a question in the comments section. And like always, you can ask me any question and I will definitely get to them as well. All right, you guys, we will catch you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye.